morning. You're watching CityCast. I'm Antara Gupta.
I'm Ayushi Parekh. Slum rehabilitation delayed in Kerala.
Increase in drunken driving cases in Pune post-lockdown.
Migratory birds flock to the Nilapattu Bird Sanctuary in Nellore.
More than 600 families living in P&T colony wait for rehabilitation. Meanwhile, they live in fear of the rains flooding their homes. Our reporter Roshni Nair brings us the story.
Every time it rains, water enters the houses on the banks of polluted Perandur Canal. Residents say this has been happening for the past 2 decades. They've lost important documents and other belongings because of the flooding. Authorities open temporary relief settlement camps every year for them.
ഈ വെള്ളം കയറുമ്പോഴൊക്കെ ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് ക്യാമ്പിൽ പോയി കിടക്കും. അവിടെ നിന്ന് പറയാൻ ഇപ്പോഴും രാത്രി ആകുമ്പോൾ ഇത്രയും വെള്ളം ഉണ്ടാകും പുറത്ത്. കണ്ടവിടം വരെ ഉണ്ടാവും. കലക്ടർ വരെ ഇവിടെ വന്ന് കണ്ടിട്ട് പോയതാണ് രാജമാണിക്യൻ സാറ്. 24 മണിക്കൂർ ഞങ്ങൾ ഈ കൊതുകടി കൊണ്ട് വിടുകയാണ്.
The Greater Cochin Authority took up a 15 crore rehabilitation project for the P&T colony 2 years ago. The construction of 88 houses in Mundamveli began in July 2018. However, officials say that the work was delayed due to floods and insufficient funds.
പണി തുടങ്ങിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. 325 ദിവസമാണ് ടൈം ഓഫ് കംപ്ലീഷൻ കൊടുത്തിട്ടുള്ളത്. പറയുന്ന സാഹചര്യം അനുകൂലമാണെങ്കിൽ.
The people of the colony are daily wage earners. Many of them have skin allergies because of the exposure to the dirty water from the overflowing canal. The settlement of 92 houses has been around for 50 years. Under the Life Mission Kerala housing scheme, the municipality has recognized the settlement as inhabitable.
I am probably the only councillor who hasn't signed the open defecation statement. The entire state.
Urban planners say that increase in urbanization and absence of waste management strategies have especially made low-lying settlements vulnerable to flooding.
Cities for development and water management and waste management strategies so that encroachment of water bodies can be controlled.
Meanwhile, the Indian Oil Corporation asked them to vacate since the houses are close to the oil tankers. This is reporter Roshni Nair signing off for CityCast.
Fewer orphan children find homes as adoption rates drop in the country. Our reporter Antara Gupta tells us the impact COVID has on adoption.
Orphanages witness a decline in the adoption rates in the wake of the pandemic. Central Adoption Research Authority CARA states that the inter-country adoption numbers stood at 653 in 2019, but this year there are 40% fewer adoptions. The adoption process takes up to 2.5 to 3 years, but the pandemic has made it even lengthier. Orphanages fear that the entire process might exceed by another year. 23 children from the center are waiting to be adopted despite being registered in the district court for adoption.
लास्ट ईयर के हिसाब से इस बार हमारा जो रेशियो था अडॉप्शन का वो कम रहा है क्योंकि इंटरनेशनल लोगों का आना जाना उसमें प्रॉब्लम थी और लॉकडाउन की वजह से काफ़ी कुछ काम जो हमारे थे वो रुके हुए थे.
Orphanages say that they have more children waiting to be adopted. Prospective parents from outside the country are also not able to proceed with the adoption process, mainly because of the paperwork taking longer amidst the pandemic. These prospective parents are desperate to come and adopt, but the lengthy and tedious process of the adoption along with the pandemic has slowed things down considerably. Meanwhile, the experts talk about the possible amendments to the law of adoption to make the entire process smoother.
बच्चे का एडॉप्शन देखा जाए तो 6 महीने के अंदर ही कर लेना चाहिए. हमारे जो कानून में कुछ ना कुछ अमेंडमेंट करना चाहिए.
The COVID-19 pandemic has brought the lives of these orphans at a standstill. The orphanages in the city plan to file a petition requesting for a necessary breakdown of the adoption laws, with a hope to save the children and the parents from further despair. This is Antara Gupta from CityCast signing off. As more businesses change the way they work during the pandemic, they are vacating offices. Our reporter Ayushi Parekh finds that there is an increase in demand for co-working spaces.
A report by Co-working Resources says that co-working spaces are set to grow at a rate of 21%. Companies like Zomato have shut down over 80% of their offices to save costs. NBFCs have been affected as well.
It was difficult to manage such a huge office during the lockdown. Period of 8 months if the entire office is shut down and you have to pay the rents, as well as landlords couldn't bear the entire loss. That was the major reason of moving to a co-working space from unconventional office.
Co-working spaces follow strict safety measures and provide other endless benefits.
Corporates are taking interest in co-working spaces because they don't have to pay heavy deposits, heavy rentals.
They see a rise in clientele as the year approaches to an end.
The queries have started to increase. People are now tired of working from home. Now they want to change, they want to convert it into the working environment.
Co-working spaces are also looking into the model of a managed office, where they manage the space for companies who would otherwise have to outsource the work. Real estate consultants believe investment in commercial spaces currently is a wise move.
Definitely there is a slack. Lots of offices are closed. Some of the people have started taking offices on rent, started doing their job.
The pandemic has not only impacted the financial status of corporates, but has also changed the definition of office spaces altogether. This is Ayushi Parekh reporting for CityCast.
Don't go anywhere. After the break, we bring you a story on the large influx of migratory birds to Nellore.
Welcome back.
As it gets colder, different species of birds arrive at the Pulicat Lake in Andhra Pradesh. This year, there is a visible increase in their number. Here's our reporter Isa Khedwal with the story.
Early trends of 2020 show an increase in number of birds by almost 10%, which according to figures of last year was 395,000. Famous for receiving greater flamingos and 50 other species of birds, Pulicat Lake is one of the largest breeding grounds.
Previously, in the month of November, actually it was around some good population of flamingos was there. Actually, we received 40,000 to 50,000 flamingos every year.
Abundant rainfall has helped to add to the number of fishes, frogs, tadpoles, and certain algae that serve as food for these birds. The increased numbers offers a mesmerizing sight.
From let's say about October till about February, maybe March, you have a lot of migratory birds that are here. And so, besides the flamingos and other storks and herons, which you normally see around that time, ducks is one big family.
The lake encompasses an area of 750 square kilometers, making it the second largest water lagoon in India. Large flocks of species like grey heron and Asian open-billed stork are also seen, which earlier was limited to 1,000.
Then there is a pattern where birds migrate long distances to find food and better climatic conditions as well as to breed. So and if you look at their patterns, they travel like some thousands of kilometers vertically down south and north.
Even though the season extends from October to March, the early trends show a rise. This is Isa Khedwal for CityCast signing off.
As the lockdown eases and more people start to resume normal activities, we find an increase in drunk driving cases in Pune. Our reporter Arpita Ajay Kumar tells us why.
The traffic police had lodged 355 drink and drive cases across different divisions in Pune between January and March. However, post-lockdown, between September and November, these numbers have increased to 572. The police say the reopening of restaurants and bars is one of the main reasons for the increase in the number of cases.
So when things started opening, me and my friends have started going outside more oftenly to eat and drink, and it's always fun to go outside with my friends to eat and drink.
Pune did not report any drink and drive cases during lockdown. The experts say no strict action has been taken in relation to drink driving cases since the COVID outbreak.
Yeah, actually we are working on to give more awareness about the menace of drink and drive. And I think along with the awareness, implementation of proper laws will help.
With the increase in the number of drink and drive cases day by day, the need of the hour is to implement stricter laws that will help to reduce the number of cases. I am Arpita J. Kumar reporting for CityCast.
In a city with a space crunch, illegally parked vehicles make roads more congested. Mumbai Traffic Police find solutions to tackle this. Reporter Ratika Rana tells us of their plans.
Since 15th November 2020, over 3,000 vehicles have been towed and over 10,000 vehicles have been clamped by the Mumbai Traffic Police. They've started charging challan on hourly basis. They wait for nearly 2 months for the owners to turn up and clear their dues. If nobody turns up, the vehicle is sent to the corporation scrapyard.
कम तो नहीं बोल सकता हूँ मैडम, व्हीकल तो बढ़ते जा रहे हैं। एक्शन अभी नया चालू हुआ है हमारे यहाँ पे।
Police officials said that there are both online and offline ways of reporting about wrongly parked vehicles. Illegal vehicles are causing traffic congestion and discomfort to the locals.
They take up a lot of space in a city that's already so congested, and it's such an inconvenience for the residents because it's hard for us to find parking spots.
The vehicles are dumped in the scrapyard, which are later either destroyed or auctioned. In 2019, Mumbai Police e-auctioned 390 vehicles.
There is an entire scrap industry which is not as famous. Vehicles are not as old and we can at least use their metal and basic spare parts,
Combating illegal dumping of vehicles is one of the main challenges faced by Mumbai Traffic Police. Being active on social media platforms improves their accessibility to the citizens. I'm Ratika Rana signing off for the CityCast.
After nearly 8 months, suburban trains in Kolkata resumed services. Our reporter Shreya Malik tells us if the increase in the number of trains makes it safer to use.
The number of local train commuters is increasing every day, leading to overcrowding. Officials of Eastern Railway organizations say that thermal screening and masks have been made mandatory for everyone, but it's hard to maintain social distancing inside the train.
ক্যানিং থেকে এলাম সেক্ষেত্রে কিন্তু মেনটেন হচ্ছে না, কিন্তু ওখানে খুব এত ভিড় থাকে ট্রেনে ওটা মেনটেন করা সম্ভব না। সেফ মনে তো হচ্ছে না, কিন্তু উপায় নেই, লোকে তো বেরোতে হচ্ছে, আমিও বেরোচ্ছি, আমি at the 62 age.
The Eastern Railway Authority had initially resumed the service with 300 trains per day. The number of trains have been alternate seats on the train have been marked to enforce social distancing.
থার্মাল স্ক্যানিং করছি, ভিড়ভাড় না হয় গাড়িতে, যেমন প্যাসেঞ্জার হচ্ছে সেভাবে আমরা গাড়িটাকে বাড়াচ্ছি। কম ইনিশিয়ালি আমরা 300 দিয়ে স্টার্ট করেছিলাম, এখন প্রায় 700 কাছাকাছি ট্রেন চলছে।
In spite of all the security protocols, enforcing social distancing remains a problem.
What needs to be done is, like, the frequency of the trains needs to be also increased in that amount of time. 10 to 9 to 11 in the morning and 5 to 7 or 5 to 8 in the evening, the frequency added on first, and then maybe the number of ladies bogie can be increased to ensure that safety measures are there.
The resumption of suburban train services, thousands of people find it easier to access transportation. But the safety of the commuters is still in question. This is reporter Shreya Malik signing off, CityCast.
Thank you for watching CityCast.
Log on to citycast.in for more such stories. We hope to see you soon.